Welcome to the Zodiac Psycho Podcast. You ready for this? We're going to explore some seriously strange eclipse tales. Just in time for that total solar eclipse hitting the US on April 8th, 2024. We'll uncover the weirdness surrounding these celestial events, from like confused birds to maybe some hidden truths about ourselves. It's going to be an enlightening ride. Oh, and before we get lost in the cosmos, don't forget to check out the amazing offers in the description below.
It's fascinating how eclipses really make us realize that everything on Earth is interconnected. We often see ourselves as separate from nature.
Right.
But events like this are a powerful reminder that we're all part of something much, much bigger.
Right. Let's dive in. First up, those strange animal reactions during eclipses. I read that birds go completely haywire, like someone just flipped the nighttime switch. And get this, crickets start their nighttime symphony, chirping away as if the sun actually set.
Exactly. It's all about the sudden changes in light and temperature. During totality, the temperature can drop more than 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine the shock to the system, not just for animals, but for plants too. Their whole routine is disrupted.
Wow, over 20 degrees. That's like walking from a hot tub into a freezer. It's no wonder those birds are confused. But here's where it gets really interesting. Humans. Apparently, eclipses turn us into a friendlier bunch, like some cosmic kumbaya moment.
There's actually science behind that. Studies show that witnessing an eclipse can lead to increased pro-social behavior. It makes you think. You're standing with complete strangers, everyone in awe of this incredible event. It creates a sense of shared experience and community.
So the eclipse is like the ultimate social glue. That makes sense. Everyone forgets their daily dramas for a few minutes, staring up in wonder. Speaking of which, I read that historical battles have actually paused during eclipses. Talk about a powerful psychological effect.
Those historical accounts really highlight how profoundly these events can affect us. It makes you wonder, what is it about eclipses that makes us reevaluate our priorities, even if it's just for a moment?
Now for the question on everyone's mind. Can eclipses mess with our hormones? I mean, we're talking about a major celestial event here. It has to have some kind of impact, right?
You're right to be curious. Research shows that total solar eclipses can influence our hormone levels. For instance, studies show an increase in prolactin during an eclipse. That's the same hormone linked to feelings of nurturing in new parents, so perhaps eclipses boost our sense of connection.
Hold on, increased prolactin. Isn't that the hormone that, helps produce milk? Are we saying eclipses are turning people into? You know what, let's not go there.
No.
But seriously, it's mind-blowing that something happening millions of miles away could have a tangible effect on our bodies. Talk about feeling connected to the cosmos.
That's the beauty of it. We often forget how deeply we're intertwined with the universe. Eclipses serve as powerful reminders of those connections, both physically and mentally.
Okay, before we get completely lost in space, let's move on to the cultural significance of eclipses. They've had some pretty weighty meaning across different cultures throughout history, haven't they? Some seeing them as omens, others as markers of big life changes.
Absolutely. They've been woven into human storytelling for centuries. Many cultures see eclipses as times for personal growth, for letting go of negative influences. There's a sense of renewal, a chance to shed old patterns and embrace new beginnings.
Like hitting the cosmic reset button.
In a way, yes. It's an opportunity to reassess your path and ask those big questions about where you are and where you want to be.
I'm seeing a theme here. Animals acting strangely, people getting friendly, hormones going wild, cultural myths. It's like eclipses hold up a mirror to us, forcing us to see the bigger picture.
That's a great way to put it. They disrupt our routines, our perceptions, and maybe even our sense of self. They remind us that we are part of something much, much bigger than ourselves.
All right, color me fascinated. And maybe a little freaked out, but mostly fascinated. Remember, folks, you can find those amazing offers we mentioned earlier in the description below.
And it's not just about the vastness of the universe, it's also about our own inner universe, our psychology. Eclipses seem to tap into something deep within us, bringing out both the best and, well, sometimes the most peculiar behaviors.
Okay, we've covered the science, the history, the weirdness. But what does it all mean for the average person watching the eclipse? Should we be stocking up on prolactin supplements, joining a drum circle, building an eclipse bunker?
I wouldn't recommend any of those necessarily, though a drum circle could be fun. The real point is that eclipses offer a unique opportunity for introspection. It's a chance to step outside your routine, connect with something larger than yourself, and maybe even discover something new about who you are.
I like that. Cosmic me time. So no need to panic, but definitely embrace the strangeness.
Exactly. Embrace the wonder, the curiosity, and the chance to see the world and yourself from a fresh perspective.
You know, it's funny. We see eclipses as these rare, extraordinary events, and they are, astronomically speaking, but they're also perfectly ordinary in a way. The sun, the moon, the earth, all doing their cosmic dance just like they have for billions of years. It's a reminder that even amidst chaos and change, there's an underlying order to the universe.
Beautifully said. And that order, that predictability is what makes eclipses so awe-inspiring. We know they're coming, we can predict them down to the second, and yet each one is unique, a fleeting moment in time that will never be repeated exactly the same way again.
That's what makes them so captivating, knowing that we're seeing something both ancient and brand new at the same time. It's humbling, exhilarating, and yeah, maybe even a little spooky. That's what we love about them, right? It gives us something to talk about besides the weather. Speaking of spooky, there's a whole other side to eclipses that we haven't touched on yet. The myths, legends, and superstitions that have surrounded them for centuries.
Many cultures viewed eclipses as omens. The sudden disappearance of the sun or moon was often seen as a sign of impending doom, a disruption of the natural order, a message from the gods, and not a happy one.
It makes sense. Imagine you're just going about your day and suddenly the world goes dark. You'd probably think the apocalypse was starting too.
Right. Without the scientific understanding we have today, it's easy to see how eclipses could spark fear and superstition.
So what kind of doomsday scenarios are we talking about here? Angry sky gods, giant space monsters swallowing the sun.
Oh, you name it. There are stories of dragons devouring the sun, demons stealing the moon, vengeful spirits casting shadows across the land. It really runs the gamut of human imagination, all fueled by that primal fear of the unknown.
Wow, that's intense. Makes you appreciate how far we've come in understanding the universe. But even with all our scientific knowledge, there's still something undeniably mysterious and even a little unsettling about eclipses, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. There's a certain power to them, a sense that they tap into something beyond our everyday comprehension. And that's what makes them so fascinating. They remind us that there's still so much we don't know about the universe, and maybe even about ourselves.
Okay, so we've got ancient myths and modern science swirling together in this cosmic cocktail of wonder and weirdness. But where does that leave us, the eclipse enthusiasts of the 21st century? How should we approach these events? With fear and trembling? With scientific detachment? Or maybe with a healthy dose of both?
I think the best approach is one of curiosity and openness. Embrace the mystery, acknowledge the power, and allow yourself to be amazed. After all, these are events that have captivated humanity for millennia.
I love that. Embrace the mystery, be amazed. And hey, maybe even take a moment to reflect on your place in the grand scheme of things. Who knows, you might just discover something new about yourself in the process.
Exactly. It's a chance for personal growth, for shedding old patterns, for embracing new beginnings. It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming cosmic forces, we have the power to choose how we respond, how we grow, and how we connect with the universe around us.
You know, you're making me want to grab a telescope, a comfy blanket,
Gotcha.
and maybe even a journal and just soak it all in. And speaking of soaking it in, don't forget to check out those amazing offers in the description below. They're as fleeting and precious as an eclipse itself, so grab them while you can.
Now, there's one more fascinating aspect of eclipses that we haven't explored yet, and it ties into this idea of personal growth and transformation.
Oh, do tell. I'm all ears. What other secrets do these celestial shadow puppets hold?
Well, it has to do with the way eclipses have been viewed in astrology and esoteric traditions throughout history.
Ooh, astrology. Now we're talking my language. I've always been fascinated by the idea that these celestial events could have a deeper meaning, a connection to our individual lives and destinies.
Exactly. And while it's important to approach astrology with a critical and discerning mind, there's no denying the rich symbolism and insights it offers.
So spill the astrological tea. What do eclipses signify in this realm?
Well, in many astrological traditions, eclipses are seen as powerful catalysts for change. They're associated with endings, beginnings, and those pivotal moments in life that force us to reevaluate our paths and make significant choices.
Okay, that makes sense. We've already talked about the psychological impact of eclipses, how they can make us question our priorities and see things from a different perspective. It's like the universe is giving us a cosmic nudge saying, hey, it's time for a change.
Exactly. And while that change can sometimes feel unsettling or even disruptive, it's often necessary for growth and evolution. Think of it like pruning a plant. You have to cut away the dead or overgrown branches to allow for new, healthier growth.
That's a great analogy. So eclipses are like the universe's pruning shears, helping us to shed what no longer serves us and make space for something new to emerge.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is that each eclipse carries a unique energy and symbolism depending on the astrological signs and houses involved.
Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of astrology. I'm intrigued. Can you give us an example of how this works?
Sure. Let's take the upcoming total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024. This eclipse will fall in the sign of Aries, which is associated with new beginnings, independence, and action. So on a personal level, this eclipse could be a time for us to assert ourselves, take initiative, and to embark on new adventures.
Wow, that's powerful. So the energy of the eclipse is amplified by the characteristics of the astrological sign it falls in.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper than that. The houses in our birth charts that are activated by the eclipse will also play a role in how its energy manifests in our lives. For example, if the eclipse falls in your 10th house of career, you might experience significant changes or opportunities related to your work or public image.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like a cosmic puzzle with each eclipse holding a unique message or lesson for us, depending on our individual astrological blueprint.
That's a great way to put it. And while it's not always easy to decipher these messages, the process of exploring them can be incredibly insightful and empowering.
All right, I'm officially hooked on eclipse astrology. But before we get too lost in the stars, let's bring it back down to Earth for a moment. What are some practical ways that we can prepare for and make the most of these powerful celestial events?
That's a great question. There are many things we can do to align ourselves with the transformative energy of eclipses. Here are a few suggestions. There are many things we can do to align ourselves with the transformative energy of eclipses. Here are a few suggestions. First, consider setting intentions. Before the eclipse takes place, take some time to reflect on what you want to release from your life and what you want to call in. Write down your intentions and visualize them manifesting.
Okay, so kind of like a cosmic wish list.
You could say that. It's about harnessing the powerful energy of the eclipse to support your personal growth.
I like it. So setting intentions, check.
Yeah.
What else?
Another powerful practice is releasing what no longer serves you. This could be anything from negative thought patterns and limiting beliefs to unhealthy relationships or habits. Write down everything you want to let go of, and during the eclipse, visualize yourself releasing it.
So it's like a cosmic decluttering session. Out with the old, in with the new.
Exactly. Eclipses offer a powerful opportunity for clearing out the old and making space for the new.
Okay, I'm ready to do some cosmic spring cleaning. What else can we do to make the most of this eclipse energy?
Pay attention to your intuition. Eclipses can heighten our sensitivity and intuition, so pay close attention to any insights or messages that come to you during this time. Journaling, meditating, or spending time in nature can help you connect with your inner wisdom.
So it's about tuning in and listening to that inner voice, the one we often ignore in the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Precisely. Eclipses can help us tap into a deeper level of awareness, and that can lead to profound insights and transformations.
This is all starting to sound very mystical and transformative. But let's be real for a second. How do we know if any of this is actually working? Are there any tangible signs that we're aligning with this eclipse energy?
Well, you might notice synchronicities happening in your life. Unexpected opportunities may arise. You may feel a sense of clarity or purpose, or you may simply feel a shift in your energy.
So it's about being open to the possibilities and paying attention to the subtle signs.
Exactly. It's about trusting the process and allowing the eclipse energy to work its magic.
Okay, I'm feeling a sense of cosmic anticipation building already. But before we get too carried away with all this astrological talk, let's remind ourselves that eclipses are, first and foremost, incredible natural phenomena. They're a chance to marvel at the wonders of the universe and appreciate the intricate dance of celestial bodies.
Absolutely. Never lose sight of the awe and wonder that eclipses inspire.
Right. I mean, think about it. We're talking about the moon passing between the sun and the earth, casting a shadow across our planet. It's a cosmic ballet that's been happening for billions of years. And we get to witness it. It's a humbling and exhilarating experience.
It certainly puts our everyday worries into perspective.
It does. It reminds us that we're part of something much, much bigger than ourselves. And that's a powerful feeling.
It is, and it's something we can carry with us long after the eclipse has passed. So as you prepare to witness this incredible event, remember to approach it with a sense of wonder, curiosity, and an open heart.
Great advice. And speaking of open hearts and open minds, let's take a moment to acknowledge that eclipses have been viewed through many different lenses throughout history. From ancient myths and legends to modern science and astrology, these celestial events have captivated human imagination for millennia.
That's right. And while we may have a better scientific understanding of eclipses today, they still hold a certain mistaken power.
They do. And I think that's part of what makes them so fascinating. They bridge the gap between science and spirituality, between the known and the unknown.
Exactly. They remind us that there's still so much we don't know about the universe and about ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing.
It is. It keeps us curious, keeps us exploring, keeps us connected to the mystery of it all. So as we approach the upcoming total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024, let's embrace all that it has to offer: the science, the mystery, the symbolism, and the transformative power. It's a chance to witness a rare and spectacular celestial event, to connect with the vastness of the universe, and to embrace the transformative energy that it brings.
Beautifully said. So mark your calendars, folks. April 8th, 2024, the Cosmic Show is about to begin. And hey, while you're waiting, don't forget to check out those amazing offers in the description below. They're as fleeting and precious as an eclipse itself, so grab them while you can.
Great reminder. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with one final thought. Given the historical and cultural significance of eclipses, how might you personally approach this upcoming eclipse as a chance for reflection or change? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments below, and let's continue this cosmic conversation.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Zodiac Psycho podcast for more deep dives into the mysteries of the universe and ourselves. We'll catch you next time.
So to answer your question about practical ways to prepare, there are many things we can do to align ourselves with the transformative energy of eclipses.
Okay, cosmic adventurers, we're back and ready to dive deeper into the astrological significance of eclipses. It's like each one has its own cosmic fingerprint, full of unique symbolism.
That's a great way to think about it. And remember, in astrology, eclipses are often seen as markers of major life changes, real turning points.
So it's not just about, oh cool, eclipse, let's take a selfie. It's about paying attention to what's happening in our own lives around these events. Exactly. Think of it as the universe turning up the volume on certain themes or areas of your life. Maybe you've been ignoring something or resisting change. Eclipses have a way of shining a spotlight on those things, and sometimes it can be pretty dramatic.
Okay, so it's like a cosmic wake-up call. Hey, pay attention. This is important.
Precisely. And it's not always easy or comfortable, but it's often necessary for growth. It's like those old sayings, when one door closes, another opens, or out of the ashes, a phoenix rises. Eclipses can be those moments of closure and new beginnings.
All right, I'm starting to see eclipses in a whole new light. But how do we know which areas of our lives are being affected?
That's where your birth chart comes in. As we mentioned earlier, the houses in your chart that are activated by the eclipse will give you clues about the specific themes that are being emphasized.
Okay, so it's time to dust off those birth charts, folks. But for those of us who aren't exactly astrology experts, what are some general things we can look out for during eclipse season?
Well, it's often a time of heightened emotions and unexpected events. Things can feel a bit chaotic or unpredictable, so it's important to stay grounded, practice self-care, and be open to the changes that are unfolding.
So basically, don't freak out if your world gets turned upside down.
Exactly. Remember, eclipses are ultimately about transformation and growth, and sometimes that requires a bit of a shakeup.
All right, I'm feeling empowered, not scared. Bring on the cosmic shakeup. Yeah, but seriously, is there anything we can do to navigate this energy in a positive way?
Absolutely. As we discussed earlier, setting intentions, releasing what no longer serves us, and paying attention to our intuition are all great practices during eclipse season. It's also a good time to connect with nature, meditate, and practice gratitude.
So it's about finding that balance between surrendering to the cosmic flow and actively participating in our own evolution.
Exactly. Eclipses remind us that we are co-creators of our reality. We can't control everything that happens, but we can choose how we respond and how we grow from these experiences.
I love that. It's like a cosmic dance between surrender and empowerment. All right, one last question before we wrap things up. Yeah. Knowing what we know now about eclipses, how should we approach the upcoming total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024?
Approach it with curiosity, awe, and a sense of adventure. It's a chance to witness a rare and spectacular celestial event, to connect with the vastness of the universe, and to embrace the transformative energy that it brings.
Beautifully said. So mark your calendars, folks. April 8th, 2024. The Cosmic Show is about to begin. And hey, while you're waiting, don't forget to check out those amazing offers in the description below. They're as fleeting and precious as an eclipse itself, so grab them while you can. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of eclipses. We'll catch you next time on the Zodiac Psycho podcast.